Hello, welcome students. So again, let us begin our next section of lectures on the shell variables. Now, uh, in the shell programming, we know that shell variables uh, are more or less our beginning about shell programming. The other introductory part we have already covered. So let us first discuss beginning with the shell variables. So these shell variables, uh, how many types of variables? Okay, let us discuss later on. First, let us start with the rules of how should we define the shell variables. So first, let us go forward for the rules one by one. The first rules, as you can say, that a variable name should be of any combination of alphabets, digits, and underscores. That means a variable name may be any combination. Alphabets can be there, means what we have generally says as alphanumeric characters. That type of variables can be there, means as a symbol, means the variable names. Alphanumeric characters, that means alphabetical characters and digits both. But beside that, among the special symbols, only we can include the underscore. So here you can see that the first rule is the variable name can be any combination of alphabets, digits, and among the special symbols only the underscore. No other symbol you can allow, you can include in the variable name, like at the rate, or there are a lot of other special characters are there. So those special character you cannot use in the variable name of shell variables. The next thing is no commas or blanks are allowed within a variable name. That means within the name you cannot put any comma or any blank space. So those are not allowed. And the next rule is the first character of a variable name must either be an alphabets or an underscore. That means uh, you have to begin the variable name with either an alphabetical character like A, B, C, D, like that, capital or small, those are alphabetical characters, or an underscore. So with an underscore symbol you also can start the variable name. But beside these characters, other characters you cannot put at the starting, that means specially digits. So digits are allowed in the variable name, digits are allowed, but the digits are not allowed at the starting point. That means you cannot begin a variable name with digits. So let us move on the next slide. So let us come to the next point, that is variable name should be of any reasonable length. So that means here any fixed or particular length is not mentioned, that how long it can be. So you can put variable name longer name you can put, but the variable name should be reasonable name. That means obviously you should not use a name like 100 character or 200 character name, you should not use. So name should be of any reasonable length, but here we are not specifying any name any fixed number of the length, that how much long it can be, that is not very specifically specified. Next point is variable name. This is another important point here for the shell variables, that the variables names are case sensitive. That means the name, that means all are in small letters, small n, small a, small m, small e, that means all are in small letter. Then starting with the capital N, same. Here we have given the example of three variables, all variables and same name as name. Each of the variable name is name, but in the first case the name, NAME name, all four letters small. In the second case, the starting N, that is in capital, other letters are in small. And in the third case, the name, that means NAME, all letters are in capital. So here uh, all these three variables will be treated as different variable. Those will be treated as totally separate or different variables. Those the name of the variables are same name wise, but spelling wise also same, but only the difference is the combination of the lowercase and uppercase letter. That is only different between the variable names, but in that case also it will be treated as separate variables. Here for example you can see that si underscore int m underscore h, these are the some examples that what should be the variable's name look like, or what should be the correct name of the variables. Now let us move to the next slide, that is shell keywords. So shell keywords are like that. uh, there are lot of keywords. Keywords means the what is actually a keywords. The keywords are the words whose meaning has already been explained to the shell, or you can say in a broad sense to the computer. So those are shell keywords. Now there are a lot of shell keywords are present in the Linux, and here is another one thing, important thing you have to notice, that you cannot give variable names same as a keyword name, that is shell keyword. So what the keywords are present in the shell, those names certainly you cannot choose as the variable name. Why? Because the each of the keywords meaning is actually written to the computer or to the shell compiler or to the system. So each of the keywords meaning means which keyword will perform which task, that is being specified to the computer. But actually these shell keywords, if you use as a variable name, and certainly variable will be used by the own way of the user or programmer. So the meaning of the keyword may change and it may malfunction. So that's why we cannot use shell keywords as the keywords name as the variable name. There are a lot of keywords are present in the shell, like echo, if, else, read, etc., while, break, continue, ulimit, umask, exit, done. Lot of variables are present in Unix shell keywords. So these are the brief concept about the keyword. So let us move to the next slide. Next is assigning value to the shell variables. How can you assign values to the shell variables? So that you can do directly also, like you can here in the example you can say name. If we take name in the ss2 file, the name as a variable, so name equal to Mandar, this is a direct uh, assigning of values to the variable. Age equal to 20, so age is also a variable, you can see age is also a variable, and here we are writing age equal to 20. That implies that the value of the variable age is being assigned directly to 20, so the value of the age will be 20, and in this way you can assign the value directly. And let's move to the next slide. And here uh, types of shell variables, here you can see two types of shell variables here we have specified, that is Unix defined variable or system variables, and Unix user defined variable. So user defined variable means user defined, actually it is user defined variables. So these two types of variables can be there in the Unix. So we will go for the lot of other discussion about the Unix variables and other Unix shell programming related topics in the consecutive slides and consecutive piece of lecture. So for this period of time, now let us conclude this section of this lectures. Okay, thank you students for this session, and we will continue in other sessions.